put him up on the screen. Is he smiling? Is Cam Heyward smiling? Because last time I saw this man was on his podcast when I was talking so much smack about Michigan against Ohio State that Jack Sawyer even blushed. Congratulations, Cam Heyward, on winning that game. Your team and your alma mater, and obviously what's going on with your team. What's up, man?
Nothing much. We got a win versus the boys in blue, but that was expected. We were supposed to do that. Now we got our work cut out for us in the playoffs, and we got our work cut out for us for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm looking forward to taking care of that.
All right, a lot of work being cut out. I'm happy to stop talking about college football. Very happy to just move on from that one. How are you? Happy to move on from that. So
we can keep talking about it. I'm cool with that. No, it's cool. We can get back to it. We made bets. I don't even ask about the bets. I just, I'll keep those in a back pocket for a later time. But we did.
I don't remember doing anything like that. I said I would just come on your pod the week before. I don't. The rest of it, I'm a 56-year-old man. My memory's a little hazy. No, but if we did, I'm happy to figure out whatever the heck that was. Did I do that in some sort of a Bert Kreischer haze at the Super Bowl with you? Did I do something stupid in New Orleans like most people do when they're down there? Did I do that? Forget.
I think it was just like Ohio State Cam Heyward jersey you were supposed to wear on TV. So
oh God,
we can make that happen. We can
that I don't remember, but oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I don't think they come in my size. All right, let's talk about your current. Okay, so. Oh my God!
Good job, Cam.
All right, Cam. Let's talk about your current situation. Yes. What was it like going into that game last week with the conversation about the Steelers and Mike Tomlin in a way that didn't really has reached a fever pitch there in that town about it's no longer working out for the team and Mike Tomlin? How do you respond to something like that, Cam?
I think when you respond to it, I think it's just got to be your play. I think everybody wants to make a big deal about our coach, but at the end of the day, the players have to answer for it, and rightfully so. Coaches coach, players play, and our execution definitely had to pick up. Going into that game, we knew what was at stake, and there's still a lot more games at stake going forward, but we understand we're in the midst of 5 games where we got to have what we want if we want to qualify for the playoffs. And it's not about pointing the finger, it's about getting the job done. And I think our guys know that. And we know we're going to answer more questions. We're not going to shy away from it, but our tape speaks for it. And when we put out bad tape, you got to answer for it. When you put out good tape, you got to answer for it. But, that's just the business.
Well, I mean, and the business, having been in this league for 15 years, all with the Steelers, all with Mike Tomlin. I know the answer to the question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I think it is maybe illustrative or illustrative of what to be the case there. Is Tomlin any different when the pressure's on like that, and he's hearing calls for his head and people screaming, "Fire Tomlin"? Cam?
No. I think the thing that we really appreciate about it is just he's locked in and consistent. It doesn't have to be some rah-rah speech to change the mood. No, it's what he says from week one. He's going to attack you. He's going to be consistent. He's going to know what we need to accomplish in those moments. But he's got to hammer those moments home, and then it's up for us to deliver. And he beat all week up about those moments being special, especially in these Steeler and Ravens games. Even in his Saturday night speech, he was showing clips of, years ago when we played the Steelers and Ravens. And you would watch, Troy making a interception and going to the, taking it to the crib and watching them win the AFC Championship, or, countless times where it came down to one game that decided the AFC North. And it just talked about how you had to step up in those moments. And I appreciate that. I don't have to go searching for, somebody to, fire me up. It's week to week with him. He knows what we expect.
So that's what he did Saturday night in the hotel?
Yep.
He showed you
Yes.
some greatest hits, literally and figuratively, from that rivalry.
Yeah. There's plenty of
Yeah,
them, but
and
he showed them most recently.
yeah, sure are. Yeah, I mean, paint swapping affairs, and I guess there's some youngins on the team that need to maybe be brought up to speed about what that series is all about, and what it's been that way for you, right? What was that first one for you? Do you remember
Yeah.
your first Ravens Steelers game, Cam? What was that?
Oh, my first Ravens Steelers game started my career. They were just coming off of losing in the Super Bowl, and we were playing them, and man, we got the crap kicked out of us. I didn't start that game. I remember thinking like, "Oh, this is a different game. I don't know if I'm ready." I think they hung like 30-something points on us. I think they even got like a fake field goal on us late. It was a crash out moment to start my career, but luckily I got to be part of a lot more.
And what was it like coming off that field with the win, too, Cam? What was that like for you this week?
It was special. You go into a hostile environment, and Baltimore Raven fans are passionate. They care a lot about their team, and you're hearing it from the outside. But you love to play the villain in those moments. I saw Mike T blowing a kiss at the camera after the game. Aaron was hyped about it. Aaron even said, "Man, I love being a part of these type of rivalries. Like, it's the closest thing you get to a college rivalry, and it's pretty special."
Yeah, I don't want to talk about college rivalries.
We always got to come back to it, right?
Did you do that on purpose, Cam? Did you do that on purpose? Was that next level four-dimensional chess right there? Okay. Well, when you mentioned about, Mike T blowing a kiss and what Aaron had to say, I'm noticing, and I think everyone else has, the three of you guys walk off the field together, right? You sometimes even wait for Aaron to maybe be done with a post-game press conference. Why do you do that? A post-game moment after the game with a broadcast. Why are you guys doing that?
Well, me and Mike T, we started this a couple years ago, and it was just like, before the game, he was always like, "Let's slow walk out of here after this game," and that just means we've got the job done, and we just get to embrace the moment. And then this year, we started including Aaron in it. It takes a little bit longer because Aaron is long-winded in his interviews, but we love to include him in our traditions.
So it was 2 years ago where Tomlin comes up to you and is like, let's accomplish the mission and relish this moment. That's what he says to you, and you've been doing it ever since.
We've been doing it for a while. We got the gray hair to prove it.
Well, what do you say to each other? You mind sharing this, but be a fly on the wall when you are slow walking off a field, like say this week when Tomlin's under fire and Rodgers runs one in and throws one in. And you do what you're doing defensively on the Ravens and shutting it down. What do you say to each other in general?
It's a quick debrief, talking about what happened in the game, and you're looking around, looking at our fans. We're appreciative of them. We're shouting them out. But man, it's just a moment you take in to just admire like the chaos that has already happened. And it's fun to, you only do that after wins. After losses, it's get your ass in the locker room and keep it moving. But after wins, you get to admire just, the mad faces you get to see and the happy faces. It kind of feels like, do you remember the old Kobe Bryant commercial where everybody they were all in the stands yelling, "I hate you" in different ways?
Yep.
Like, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah,
and you just get to appreciate that more. Yeah.
There was his farewell commercial. I do remember that. And then Rodgers at his post-game press conference, when asked what this win means with what everyone's been saying about Mike Tomlin, and he basically said maybe it'll just shut you all up for the week. Did you see that one, Cam?
I hadn't really paid attention to that one, but that's not surprising by Aaron to say that. It's going to shut them up for a week, but they'll be right back on Saturday ready to fire up.
Well, I mean, it is that time of year, I guess, and it has just been a season that is there, though, for you guys to take. I mean, it's right there where you are taking this lead in the division into Monday Night Football against the Dolphins team that would love to get back to 500. And then, it's going to be a Rodgers tour, one last kick around in the NFC North for him, where visiting Detroit, and then you got that Cleveland matchup before you see Baltimore again. What are you guys thinking about the possibilities of making this a 5-game win streak, going into the playoffs, massive momentum, and going on a run here, Cam?
I think that's the way we look at it. We want to get hot late, but it's not just consuming all 5 games at one time. It's taking one game at a time, and Miami's trying to get to 500. They're a very good team, run the ball very well. A lot of respect for those guys. From where they started to where they are now. But man, if we can get hot at the right time and then go in these playoffs with some steam, I think that creates where, everything we want. And, you had told me at the beginning of the year, we'd be in December, in first place in our division. That's where we want to be. And we got some work to do, but, I like it that way. And hopefully we can hit our stride late.
In the few minutes I have left with you, Alex Highsmith, your teammate, was the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from your team. You're a guy who wears that patch on the chest. It may be the greatest patch in all of sports. What's your thoughts on hearing that about your teammate trying to follow in your footsteps, Cam?
Alex is so deserving of, the nomination. It's not just him being a part of his own events. He attends my events, and this award is about giving back in different ways and being a person of the people. And I'm very thankful to have brothers throughout this league that have done it at a high level and have also given back. And Alex is a culmination of that. And I watch what he does. I watch how he cares about people. I watch how he donates his time back to Charlotte as well. His story is unbelievable. Being a walk-on at Charlotte and, transforming his body the way he did to going on and be a pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers and be that guy, be high level. When I look at him and TJ and Herbig, man, there's no Batman and Robins. It's a bunch of Batmans out there. And those guys are very special, and Alex is doing it at a very high level.
Well, and then before I let you go, I'm going to turn you into a pundit, since that may be in your future, if that's who you so choose when you're done playing. What'd you think of the news that Phillip Rivers is coming off the couch and he's back with the Colts right now, Cam? And they are legit talking about he could start at Seattle on Sunday at age 44, Cam. What do you think about this?
So what came to mind was, I know he has 10 kids. And I was like, that health insurance ran out. And so now it's time to restart that thing. But, I just, it's crazy. He's like 45 years old with a 2-year-old. I'm like, I can't go back to that well. I can't go back to diapers. And that's the crazy part about me. But, and then I just think taking all that time off and then saying, hey, I'm going to strap it up. I'm going to get tackled. Luckily, he's got a great O-line. I got a lot of respect for those guys. They're going to have to keep him up. But, 45, jumping right back into this, it's going to be tough.
Well, maybe he wants to get away from the 2-year-old for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a bad, you know what I mean? As long as he's got a good safety net at home, like maybe, Indianapolis in the cold right now is not a bad idea. I'll go run away from DeMarcus Lawrence if I have to, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
now you're asking Phil to run away? That's not nice. You're asking Phil to run away?
She's sick.
No, I know that. I mean, that was never his forte either. But I mean, neck up, right? Like that's he's got it. That's got to be as sharp as ever, right? Like, I mean, he can dissect something pre-snap. He says he's been watching a lot of football too. It's just the question of the rigors of 60, 70 plays, and will he be able to take care of himself, right? Like that's it.
I also think I also think we've been missing the Phillip Rivers trash talking for some time now. So I'm excited to watch Phil just light somebody up like first play and just get under somebody's skin. Like, that's going to be fun to watch.
So you're saying he never needs you in the stomach?
No.
Cam?
No. Hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure we follow through on our bets because, you know, it's time for you to pay up. You know, you've had too much fun.
Because of that one? Because of that one right there? Because I asked you about Josh Allen in that way?
You stepped the line,
I
Rich.
just poked the bear. Did I just, with that question, did I just knee you in the stomach, Cam? Is that what I just basically did right there? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Okay.
It was funny, though. I had Joey Porter on, and he brought up the situation, and he was like, keep that crap in the locker room. Don't even bring it up. And, you know, we got to talking about it. I was like, all right, I'm just going to shut up about it. You know, Joey's like my big brother. So, like, I gotta shut up and keep it moving.
All right. Then I will keep it moving on with the day. Is anybody going to beat Indiana in college football? Cam? Anybody going to beat Indiana? What do you think?
If we see them again, we'll beat them. I think.
You think so, huh?
Okay. Yeah. It's like the Oregon thing.
I do have to tell you. I see. Yeah, I mean, no, listen, two things. First of all, when I see Jeremiah Smith play football and they put his numbers on the screen, I think that they've had a typo. With 6'3", 223, running those routes is stupid. Yeah. Like, that's not – I honestly think it is a misprint, that there's something – and then there's Tate and this kid Bo Jackson, and obviously Sayin is doing his thing, and defensively – yeah. I mean, you're gonna see some of these kids next year. I mean, in the first round. I mean, in the Pittsburgh draft, where you're probably going to be part of it up there on the stage. You might be in the green room, and some of those, like Caleb Downs, is not going to sit in that green room very long next year. That is for sure.
I've known Caleb since he was like in elementary school. He's from Georgia. We all grew up, and to see him wind up back at Ohio State. You know, his mom was a teacher at my high school, and so we've always been, you know, pretty close with families. And Caleb's kicking ass. Like, Caleb is the premier safety, and you know, watching his brother Josh, it's been really fun to see.
Yeah, I know, and obviously you got you know, the team Ohio State has the horses to win it all. Plus, again, Cam, the last time Ohio State lost its last Big Ten game and didn't win the conference championship by the final score of 13-10, you won it all. So maybe it's just another time. You know what I mean? Okay.
Thank you, Rich, for poking back at that last game I
won. Cam is the best. I love Cam.
You know where to find me if you want me to put that jersey on. If I don't recall ever saying that I would do such a thing, but listen,
I will post that. I will post that.
Okay, Cam, you're the man. Thanks for the time, sir. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Heyward, one of the best in the business. There he goes, heading off to take on the Dolphins on Monday Night Football.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.